Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Plan, speaking to Dan Zielinski. Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Senior Vice President, Public Affairs at the Rubber Manufacturers Association, and we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Motorists, get a grip. Make sure your tires are road ready this holiday season. I think it's probably more than Thanksgiving. Goes through the winter and goes through every single day. So we have to be safe,
true.
right, Dan?
Well, that's right. You know, your tires are the only part of the vehicle that touch the road, and they are a critical safety component of your vehicle. They're involved in acceleration, stopping, turning, and so forth. And they'll last for tens of thousands of miles, but they do need some basic care to make sure of that.
You know, Dan, the more you go to the old ability of somebody to check your tires, the full service kind of thing, and that's sort of going by the wayside, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it sure has. As gas stations have become more convenience store, we've seen that sort of full service opportunity really disappear from the country. So it's really up to each of us to check tire pressure. Fortunately, it still is pretty easy to do. You do need a tire gauge, and you need to know how to check your tire pressure properly.
Okay. And so what do you do? Is there any suggestions on the type of tire? Just get a good one? Because there are also like those things that they just pop out. Is there any secret in those things?
The more accurate ones are the digital tire gauges and the ones with a dial. They can cost $15, $20, $30. I use a simple stick gauge that only costs maybe $4 or $5 at an auto parts store. It served me very well. I've used one for many years. But you want to check. Yeah, you just want to check your tires before you drive when they're cold, because as you drive on them, the tire heats up and the pressure expands. And then you also want to use the correct inflation pressure for your tires. Don't look at the tire sidewall. That has a maximum inflation pressure listed. You want to open your driver's side door, look for a label there that's the tire information sticker, and that has the correct inflation pressure for your vehicle, or check the owner's manual if you don't see it there.
Do they always put the right size tire on the cars when they put them on, do you think?
Well, they should. If you're going to a knowledgeable, legitimate tire place, they know where to look for the right size. It's on that label in the driver's side door. It's the tire information sticker. And there it will have the proper size tire for your vehicle, the proper inflation pressure, and also the load limits for your vehicle.
What's this penny test?
Well, the penny test is a easy, inexpensive way to ensure that you have adequate tread depth on your tires. All you have to do is take the penny and turn it upside down, so Lincoln's head's pointed down. Place the penny into one of the tire tread grooves, and if you can see all the way to the top of Lincoln's head, it's time to replace your tires. Your tire is worn out.
Okay. All right. That is a very important tip. But you say something about overloading. Can you put too much weight in the car?
Well, you sure can overload your car. As I mentioned, there is a label on your driver's side door that has the tire information, but also the tire and load information. And when you overload your car, you're basically putting more stress on the tires. The inflation pressure for your car's tires are designed to carry that vehicle at its maximum load limit. When you exceed that, you're exceeding the capacity of the tire, and you're going to put stress on the tire that can build up heat over time, that can cause the tire to either wear out prematurely, or in really serious conditions, it can cause the tire to fail.
Are all tires, what is radial, man? Are they all radial now? When you go to buy tires?
Yeah, all passenger tires are radial, and that reflects the construction of the tire where the layers are at angles to each other. It actually creates a stronger tire, more rigid tire to resist all the spinning, the turning, and so forth, and just the stresses on the road. When tires were called bias ply tires years and years ago, they tended to not last very long, sometimes only 15,000, 20,000 miles. Another safety concern that I know when I was growing up a little boy, I was a lot of leaves on the road, and it was wet, and I pushed down on the brakes a little hard, and I skid for a bit. And yeah, that's true. Wet leaves, when there's a lot of them on there, they can create a very slick surface, that isn't necessarily very easy for the tire to grip on. But in most cases, because when that happens, you're most likely going to be in neighborhoods and so forth. So when there is wet roads, when you see leaves on the ground, it's important to watch your speed and slow down, because it's more than usual, or more likely, that you're going to have a loss of control incident because of the speed and going over some adverse road conditions, rather than just the condition of itself.
What do you think about chains?
About chains?
Yeah, chains on tires.
Oh, in most places, certainly in Brooklyn, it's not really something you need. I think you really need some severe snow conditions to want to use those. I mean, maybe if you get some good blizzards, you might have them for the short time necessary. Because let's face it, I mean, even if you're in a neighborhood that doesn't see the snowplow on the first day, you're going to see a snowplow. New York is pretty good about snow removal. I know, because I lived on Long Island for most of my life, but you really need chains if you're living in the mountains and you're driving through the mountain passes up to the ski areas, and in addition to winter tires as well.
Any other important things that we should share with the audience at this moment?
No, I think the most important thing is obviously check the pressure, inspect the tread each month. If you do those things, and also rotate your tires and make sure your wheels are properly aligned, you should get long-time service out of your tires, many thousands of miles, and you'll keep yourself and your family safe, get good gas mileage, and save money by helping your tires last.
Let me ask one other thought that I always
Sure.
have, especially when I sometimes drive with other people. I guess I prefer driving than sitting in the passenger seat. Whatever happened to that 10 feet for every 10-mile rule? Is that long gone? Staying back from the car in front of you?
I think they use car lengths now. That for every 10 miles per hour, you should hang back a car length or so, and that tends to increase depending on road conditions, certainly. Mm-hmm. So, it's always good to give yourself some extra space. With the incidence of distracted driving on the road right now, I think more space is better for everyone, because you don't want to suddenly have, when you're too close to another car, your opportunities for evasive action and safe evasive action are much more limited if a sudden emergency condition emerges. So watch your speed, give people room, be patient, pay attention, and buckle up.
I always like that name, defensive driver.
Yes, right.